The early morning air hums with the sound of helicopters. Japan prepares for conflict. Massive military buildup underway. Blares a headline from a TV in a cramped newsroom. On the ground, armored vehicles roll past lines of camouflage soldiers at a base in southern Japan. The mood is tense, determined. This is no longer the sleepy, pacifist Japan of the last 70 years. The world is taking notice, and so are Japan's neighbors. Men and women in uniform sweep across the tarmac in lockstep, their faces drawn but focused. Defense minister press conferences fill the airwaves, detailing new defense budgets and advanced missile deployments. War games, once rare, are now routine, with Japan's self-defense forces drilling alongside American Marines. The sense of urgency pulses through the country like a low drumbeat. Tensions across East Asia are rising fast. Japan, shaped by decades of peace and American protection, is now gearing up for something it hasn't faced in generations: the real possibility of war, with China as the likely adversary. The world is watching, but the stakes feel most real here, at the edge of the Pacific. Okinawa sits like a dagger pointed toward Taiwan and China. The islands are lush and beautiful, emerald hills falling into turquoise seas. But, look close, and you see watchtowers, radar domes, and airstrips. Okinawa is, and always has been, Japan's strategic shield. It's also a target. The American presence is everywhere. Massive bases sprawl across the island, their fences topped with barbed wire. F-35s roar overhead, rattling the windows of ancient villages. Japanese forces, too, are increasingly visible, their trucks rolling through town past noodle shops and school children. The population lives with a sense of vulnerability, a nagging awareness that their home could be the first line of fire. The proximity to China means that any regional conflict could begin here. The Ryukyu Islands, of which Okinawa is the largest, form a chain that China must cross if it ever moves on Taiwan. For Japan, holding these islands is essential. For locals, it's a heavy burden. The beauty of Okinawa's beaches hides the anxiety of living on a geopolitical fault line. I arrive at a Japanese ground self-defense force base. An outsider, a foreign journalist. My first impression is how quiet the compound feels, almost meditative. Soldiers bow politely before vanishing into the hum of routine. I join a group of young recruits for a week, blending in as best I can. They hand me a uniform and awkwardly I put it on. A sergeant leads us through morning drills. The sun is barely up. Sweat beads on my brow. Every movement is precise. Every instruction short and sharp. We run, we crawl, we leap over obstacles. I'm twice as slow as the others. Laughter ripples when I stumble, but a kind word follows. The camaraderie is strong, but there's an undercurrent of seriousness. They know what's at stake. Meals are quick and silent. In the evenings we gather in barracks to clean rifles and compare blisters. The soldiers talk about home, parents, girlfriends, dreams of peace. They also talk about China, about what might come. For many, the idea of fighting is both terrifying and inevitable. Physical training here is relentless. We start with long-distance runs around the base, boots pounding over gravel. Next, it's a circuit of push-ups, squats, and pull-ups. The instructors are stern but fair, never show weakness, one tells me. But by the end of the first day, my muscles are shaking. Martial arts are a core part of training. I'm handed a wooden staff, bojutsu. The dojo smells of sweat and cedar. We line up and practice strikes, blocks, and throws. The discipline is strict, the movement's almost ritualistic. I struggle to keep up, tripping over my own feet. My partner, a young sergeant, quietly corrects my stance, teaching me to focus, to channel anxiety into action. In the evenings, lectures cover strategy and history. We study maps of the East China Sea, learning the geography that could shape tomorrow's conflicts. The soldiers here are not just training bodies, they're preparing minds for a fight that might never come, but could come at any moment. Japan's military history is, well, long and complicated. Before World War II, the Imperial Japanese Army was feared across Asia. The Pacific War left deep scars on Japan, on its neighbors, and honestly, on its own people. The trauma of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and the devastation of Tokyo's firebombings, still echo in collective memory. After the surrender in 1945, Japan's constitution, written under American guidance, renounced war as a sovereign right. For decades, the self-defense forces were lightly armed and politically constrained. American bases dotted the landscape, a constant reminder of defeat and occupation. Many Japanese grew up believing the SDF would never fight a real war. But the world changed. The security treaty with America has kept the peace, but as new threats rise, Japan faces pressure to do more. The debate is emotional and fierce. Some fear a return to militarism. Others see defense as a necessity, not a choice. China's military has grown rapidly. Warships patrol the East China Sea, sometimes intruding into Japanese waters. The Senkaku Islands, just these uninhabited rocks administered by Japan but claimed by China, have become a flashpoint. Chinese Coast Guard ships circle almost daily. The tension is, honestly, palpable. North Korea adds another layer of danger. Its missiles can reach nearly all of Japan. Regular launches, sometimes right over Japanese airspace, send residents running for shelter. Japan's missile defense systems are constantly on alert, scanning the sky for incoming threats. Russia, too, reminds Japan of its proximity. In the north, Russian bombers and ships conduct exercises near Hokkaido. With three powerful neighbors, Japan sits in a precarious position. The sense of encirclement drives its leaders to rethink old strategies. Across the southern islands, change is visible. New bases rise on Yonaguni, Ishigaki and Miyako, tiny dots on the map, but strategically vital. Radar stations, missile silos, and airstrips transform quiet fishing villages into military outposts. The Japanese government pours billions into these projects, racing to close what it calls the Southwest Gap. Construction is relentless. Concrete bunkers are built into cliffs, satellite dishes glint in the sun, troops train for amphibious landings, preparing to defend beaches and hillsides. The islands form a chain, a shield meant to deter China from moving toward Taiwan or Okinawa itself. For the people who live here, life is changing fast. Some welcome the jobs and investment. Others feel their homes are becoming battlefields and waiting. The military buildup is reshaping not just Japan's defense, but the lives of its islanders. Inside a hangar, soldiers gather around a hulking amphibious vehicle. These are the new tools of Japanese defense. The base commander, a gray-haired veteran, shows me the latest hardware hovercrafts that skim over waves, missile launchers tucked into armored trucks, drones buzzing overhead. We have to be ready for anything, he says. Japan's military tech has advanced rapidly. The SDF now fields state-of-the-art anti-ship missiles, stealthy submarines, and F-35 stealth fighters. Satellite-guided artillery can strike ships moving at high speed. The aim is clear: deny any enemy the ability to land on Japan's islands. These weapons are both a deterrent and a message. If you come, we will fight, says one officer. The soldiers train in simulation rooms, practicing defense against missile barrages and cyber attacks. The hope is that strength will prevent war, but the fear is that it could also provoke one. In the shadow of new bases, old wounds remain. In Okinawa, local volunteers comb the jungles, searching for the remains of those lost in the 1945 Battle of Okinawa. They find bones, helmets, unexploded bombs. The past is not buried here, says one woman, a survivor's daughter. We live with it every day. Unexploded ordnance still turns up in fields and schoolyards. Some families refuse to walk in certain woods, fearing hidden dangers. The trauma of war lingers in stories, in memories, in the landscape itself. Islanders fear becoming targets again. The new bases bring jobs, but also anxiety. Opinions are divided. Some see the buildup as protection, others as a provocation. Environmentalists worry about coral reefs and rare birds. Elders remember the horrors of invasion. The sense of being on the front line, caught between great powers, weighs heavily. The hope for peace is strong, but so is the fear of history repeating itself.